sorry, that's something I'm doing later today. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the Disney panel, the Tron panel. By the way, did you see on this, before I start, is there something really called the Comic-Con Fulfillment Room? That sounds like the most sinister thing I've ever heard in my life. I do not want to go near the carpeting in that room. Okay, I have to take care of a little bit of business first. As all of you know, we did a little bit about Tron last year, showed you some footage. This is the third year that we're doing Tron here at the Comic-Con because, as you know, this was the Hall H, where the first test footage for Tron Legacy was shown, and you guys all went crazy, so these guys, of course, have now completed the film, finally. So what we're doing is we're going to show you 5 minutes of Tron Legacy every year for the next 20 years, and you will see the entire movie. It will cost you $10,000 to see the complete film. If you happen to be on Twitter and you want to help this thing trend, just add hashtag Cometron. Get it? Because they took Tron and put it. You can also check out the Tron Facebook page, facebook.com/Tron. And for some reason, there's a Friendster page with 3 people on it and a picture of a hamster. There's also an iPhone app. /Tron for all of your Tron updates during the day, including the secret shirtless Jeff Bridges and Bruce Boxleitner knife fight that'll be happening this evening. You will be sent the location of that. Also, make sure to drop by the Tron booth, which is in, hang on, they told me to actually say what the aisle is, but if you've been down on the floor, it's huge, you can't miss it. But drop by aisle 3712. You can check out the Tron Evolution video game, as well as a lot of cool Tron merch, and this year only, permanent Tron facial tattoos, which is a great way to show your loyalty for this film. And of course, you can always go to disney.com/Tron for all kinds of updates and coolness. So, how many people here actually remember seeing the very first Tron? How many people actually remember seeing it in the theater? Just raise your walkers. There you go, yes. Back before there were digital phones, you punks! Well, in those 27 years, the film Tron has pretty much sunk itself pretty deeply into our culture, way more deeply than I realized. So right now, we're going to run a little mini documentary to kind of show you the cultural impact of Tron. So I get to say my 3 favorite words: roll the package. Kosinski, Joe Kosinski, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look at him, lanky and lean, every nerd girl's dream. Yes. And how about producer Sean Baily? Sean Baily. Ooh, looking rakishly, devilishly casual in an open shirt. Oh, and the original creator of Tron. This is the guy, Steven Lisberger, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Oh, the smartest hobbit in the Shire. And now, let's bring it out. Come on. He's so adorable. And now let's bring out the stars of the film, Garrett Hedlund. And the ladies go crazy. Olivia Wilde. Oh, so many happy nerd boys out there right now. Michael Sheen. Tron himself, Bruce Boxleitner.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Get some good photos of that, dude. That's badass.
And a man who really ties the film together, Academy Award winner, Jeff Bridges.
Yeah!
you're gonna hear, you'll hear a lot of random dudes during the day, Jeff. So that's not any kind of flashback. Just take it and roll with it. Okay, so Joe, let's start with Joe, the director. Basically, you are doing the next chapter of Tron. So talk a little bit about how, kind of intimidating that must have been, and talk about some of the special effects and stuff that you worked with, and go ahead.
Yeah.
Talk. Thrill them.
Well, Tron was one of those movies I remember as a kid seeing the first time, probably on VHS in the mid-'80s, and it just looked like nothing else I'd ever seen. Technically, it pushed boundaries, and conceptually, I think it was really decades ahead of its time. So it was an honor, but a daunting kind of challenge to do the next chapter of this film. And I knew we had to push the boundaries creatively, technically, and also story-wise, tell a story that couldn't be told until today. And I think we've done that in a number of ways. We've shot this thing with the camera infusion camera system, true 3D movie. No conversion here in this film. Another thing we've done is we've done fully illuminated suits. So in the first movie, they had to basically trace them each frame by hand. For this film, it's a secret. It's a secret. In this film, we did fully illuminated suits. So you'll see when the actors get close to each other, they illuminate each other. They illuminate the environment around them. It was a tremendous challenge, but I think the results will speak for themselves. And then finally, I think the biggest technical challenge I think I'm most excited about is Jeff Bridges having him in the film, first of all, but having him play two roles. He plays Kevin Flynn, the programmer from the first film, and he also plays Flynn's avatar, Clue, in our movie. And Clue has remained the same age he was when he was created, so we'll see Jeff at 35 years old playing against himself, and he just does an incredible job. It's really amazing.
We're gonna see some of that footage later. It's pretty eerie, in a good way. And the 3D and camera technique, this is the next generation beyond the stuff they used in Avatar, right? This is like the new, improved.
Yeah, this is we use the latest generation Sony F35 camera, all shot on master prime lenses. It's a beautiful image, and hopefully you'll see it soon.
Not like Avatar, that cheap piece of junk. Like this is the good stuff, right? This is really good. Okay. Now, Sean. It was 2 years ago, you guys showed the footage that you shot in a men's room at the Greyhound bus station at Cahuenga and Yucca, and from that footage, everyone went crazy. You got to find writers, you got to find a director. Like, what was it like putting all this together?
It was a great process, starting with our incredible writers, Edward Kitsis and Adam Horowitz from Lost. Wonderful producing colleagues, and Justin Springer, Brigham Taylor, Jeff Silver, our leader, Stephen Lisberger, and then to me, who I think is a visionary filmmaker, in Joe Kosinski. And shortly after that, we also came across Daft Punk to work on the score of the movie, which I'm thrilled about. And then you hit the piece of casting and the process, and we felt we had to have Kevin Flynn and we had to have Tron, so we were very fortunate. And then starting us off, we had Jeff Bridges and Bruce Boxleitner join the cast. We were very much focused on a father-son story, a real emotional story at the heart of this movie, in addition to all the what I believe are stunning visuals. And so to cast the son of Kevin Flynn, we're very fortunate in finding Garrett Hedlund to play Sam Flynn. And then wonderful other cast members, Olivia Wilde, and assistant Michael Sheen, and a surprise or two in the movie yet to be revealed. But just an incredibly fortunate process with a great collaborative team.
Wow, that's now Jeff Bridges. I mean, the number of characters you've created in your career, all the acting challenges that you have gone through. Now suddenly, you're in a movie where you're revisiting a character you played 27 years ago. I think that might be the furthest amount of time between originating a character and going back to him, and then you've got to act against yourself, a 35-year-old version of yourself.
Yeah.
What was all that like, man?
It was pretty wild, pretty psychedelic. one of the things that always bothered me as an actor when I've had to, be in a movie where you have to play yourself at different ages is that there's usually another actor that has to play that part, as a young man. And now that's no longer the case. You can play yourself at any age, whether it's an old man or an infant. And to be this groundbreaking movie where that is, the birth of that idea is really, been born is a wonderful, exciting thing. And it was a lot of fun. I can't, I know they're polishing the movie right up to the very end, so I haven't seen the final, the final effect, but I can't wait to see it. You're going to see some. I'm going to see some today too.
Were you like bummed out seeing the 35-year-old version of yourself in craft service? You could like eat carbs, and you were like, trying to.
This guy was a real diva. He was coming on to Olivia all the time. I don't know about that, but what do you do? I understood it.
Well, now Garrett, you of course played young Flynn, son of Flynn, and they were mentioning earlier how they have the light cycle suits actually light up. And so you did a movie where you're in a skin tight suit the entire time. They didn't paint that on. That was real, right?
Well, at first they glued it on, but I'd say, it's kind of the wardrobe of a lifetime. Where do you go from here? Jeans and a t-shirt would just never be the same anymore.
And then the light part was really lit up. You were wearing a suit that had live electricity pretty much going through it.
Yeah, the suit was like 3/4 inch of this sort of foam rubber, and there was a cord sort of splitting the difference all the way. So the more you sort of bend, the more you're going to rip, the more repairs happen, and the more you sort of hold up the process. So stand as straight as you can.
Yeah, exactly. And now Olivia, of course, exactly. You kind of are representing the other hot girls out there who are feeling very uncomfortable right now surrounded by geeks, but you play a very ambiguous, mysterious character who is sort of helping Garrett, but you sort of talk about Cora and what you think her agenda is.
Cora is an amazing character. It was such an honor to play a really powerful, tough, kick-ass woman in a movie like this. She's mysterious and smart, cool, and she's been a companion of Kevin Flynn's for a long time. And she's a fearless warrior, and I've always wanted to play a warrior, so I finally got to do that, and we got to learn how to fight, and it was just an incredible honor.
Now, anyone who was here last year, they showed footage of the martial arts stuff. So, and both of you guys, you and Garrett were both doing, what was that like in did you have to keep in mind the special effects they would put in later as well as actually doing the martial arts? How much martial arts did you do in the film?
We did a lot of martial arts training, and we did as many of our stunts as we could, but we also had an amazing stunt team from 8711 who made us look pretty badass. But I had to remember, I was training not in 4-inch heels, and then we started shooting the movie, and I was in 4-inch heels, so I had to learn to do all the kicks and flips and all that in the suit, which was a whole other thing. But I'm glad we did it. It was cool. Now I know how to do that.
Garrett, did you train for martial arts in the skin-tight uniform, or like how did you have to keep that in mind?
Well, there's a lot of intensive training that went into this. I think I'd started maybe the first week of January, and we didn't start filming until April 6th or so. And my character had to go through parkour training, leaping over obstacles and that sort of stuff, and motorcycle training, and also intensive physical training, with the 8711 group, and sort of hand-to-hand combat, sort of, all that. It was a tedious process, but you got to do this training to be able to, comply with this suit, and you got to have the strength to sort of, to defy the restrictions that maybe it may offer, but I think we did a pretty good job.